Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich Mittelafrika. Let us continue on from where we last left off. So, we are now the Reform Group. Got the African Landstag on its way. We do fresh settled policy, we do autonomous kingdoms. Research slots, new political parties. I don't think anyone other than the conservatives can actually be in charge of reformist Mittelafrika. I don't believe the liberals or the social democrats can actually take power. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. I think it's only the conservatives. Even if we allow more political parties, they're never going to get elected. Because actually, is there anything that actually gives us autonomous puppet? Because you release territory, you release. Well, you don't release them; they just become puppets, and these are all the British colonies here. Which we'll eventually want to do. Weekly manpower. Plus 60. Which is like 5,000 manpower a year. That's kind of ass. And then you go up. These are actually all garbage. I mean, we do get a 15% stability modifier. So we lose the Gold Coast, Nigeria, and Kenya for 15% stability. That's probably worthwhile. Do they even have any wait, do you guys have any resources whatsoever? I mean, the Gold Coast has 1 aluminum. Kenya has literally nothing in it. Okay, so you never mind. It's 15% stability for... I mean, I guess we lose the population. But I don't know if we care about that too much. So let's take a quick look. From these guys combined... we get like 13,000, 14,000 manpower off of them. Okay, so that's very, no, absolutely we'll take that trade. It would actually be, like, who would not trade basically 15,000 manpower for 15% stability? It just makes sense. Okay, back to basics. You remove the mandates. Which actually also gives us a point to political... You're actually very, very good. You know what, actually, I want to rush our way straight down to, I want to rush our way straight down to, releasing the British colonies. Giving them some autonomy, that's fine for 15% stability and point to, political power gain. What do we want to go for? You know what, give me Grand Battle Plan, why not? Let's switch it up a little bit. Like, it just seems good. Return to responsible government, which is just compliance for everybody. What is compliance sitting at right now? I mean, it's not like 60. Like, it's high everywhere. Which gives us more recruitable population. There's no more bonuses, I think, if we go further in. So the compliance bonus, I will admit, isn't actually that good. But it should require us to need even less manpower garrisoning these areas. I think the higher the compliance is. Surprisingly, all of Africa, they're pretty actually happy with colonial rule. But it's almost it's late 36 now. Anything else going on in the world that we need to be aware of? I mean, you're gonna be going just basic. You might go monarchy. You might become the Russian Empire. But really, what path they choose doesn't matter for us personally. Because we're always going to be hostile to them no matter what. Got Romania down here. Social liberal. So probably see most of the Balkans align themselves with the Russians based on what we're looking at right now. I think it's too early to really say anything about Italy. Same with Spain. Like right now, like... What about you? Conservative fan... No, the election hasn't happened yet. We'll see. Sweden will probably, hopefully, join our faction, but hopefully don't go socialist. Police shooting in Lusaka. A Minoti tribesman has shot one of our police officers in Lusaka. The city is still in shock, and the perpetrator, along with many supporters, not being detained for investigation by local police. It has been theorized that he had been acquired weapons from across the border in Portugal's colonies. Okay, we're going to take an 8 of 2% stability. Just a generic minus 0.2% per week. How much are we losing now? 0.6? Very, very, very cool. Because there's no passive gain for stability anymore. They removed that I think in 0.23, if I'm remembering correctly. So we're just going to be taking... That means we have, what, like a year? A little bit, like maybe a year and a half to deal with this situation right now. The Kenyan Church. When he moved into British territory in 1925, the British hold on the territory was dangerously weak after 7 years of warfare. In the same year, British strikes succeeded with a series of protests by the natives in British East Africa. The Church of Scotland mission declared the practice of female circumcision banned by for Christians, labeling it sexual mutilation of women. For the dominant ethnic group of the region, the Kyukyu, the practice, which is called the Ira, is the Condente San Konon, the teaching of tribal law, religion. Teaching of tribal law, religion. They felt so strongly about this that it was caused a rupture within the Christian community in Kyukyu land. The Anglican Church quickly followed the Scottish Church in banning the practice, but in response, the Kyukyu have created their own African churches. They've established their own theological schools, which have become a hotbed of Kyukyu nationalism. At the same time, with the fall of Britain to socialism, there's been a schism within the Anglican and Scottish churches themselves. Canterbury Cathedral, the Union of Britain, has declared Archbishop John Hobbes Harris as head of the worldwide Anglican Communion. While in Ottawa, the British monarch has declared under his authority as Supreme Governor of the Church of England, Archbishop Cosmo Gordon Lang to be the head of the Communion. The Scottish Kirk has seen a similar schism. It's impossible to tell for certain who any given Anglican minister believes is the real head of the church, and they might be listening to Archbishop Harris, who is a campaigner against imperialism in Africa. We can favor the Kyukyu schools, we can favor the Anglican schools, or we can just suppress both of them and encourage our own schooling. Let us favor the English schools. I mean, very, very soon, Kenya is going to become nominally independent. It's going to become a little puppet state. So that's really going to be for the government in Nairobi? Is that? Yeah, the government in Nairobi, they can deal with that on their own. The death of Hulda Stumpf. Earlier today, the body of American missionary Hulda Stumpf was discovered alongside ditch in the highlands of Kenya. Stumpf was an outspoken opponent of Kyukyu practice of Iria, and her body was discovered to have been cut in a traditional Kyukyu manner before she was murdered. Naturally, you suspect Kyukyu religious extremist. Why do they spell Kenya with an I? Is that how you spell it in German? Is K-A-N-I-A? I mean, that makes sense. Hey! We're now gaining political power. 0.75. Happy to have it. Next up, let us remove these modifiers. Give me some 50% stability. Give me a political power. I think we should be earning more political power after this. I mean, it's going to be changed. It's going to be... We're going to be moving 0.2. So I believe we'll actually start gaining political power. I'm pretty sure. Today is the anniversary of the Battle of Moa, the most decisive battle of the East African campaign. In the battle, the King's African Rifles were encircled and surrendered by the armies of Paul von Lettenvorbeck of the south and the east, Kurt Wallis from the north and the west. British lost nearly 4,000 men in the operation, to a loss of less than 200 German Askari. The battle paved the way for invasion and conquest of Mozambique in 1918. And since 1922, it has been a state holiday in Middle Africa. It has been celebrated throughout the colony, but especially in Dar es Salaam. With parades and military drills, it reminds every citizen and subject of our need and capability for military excellence. You know what? War sport. Never going to say no to that. I would really like some stability because, again, we are very, very slowly losing some. I think we'll gain stability once we... How many guns do we have in storage? 1.6k. I think we'll gain a little bit of stability once we go to war with Portugal because we'll get rid of the raids. Save the DKEB. Has completed military forms. One of the following must be true. African War Industries, Cottage Industries. 52 days. I didn't actually notice that this was a mission for us. So you need to do military reforms. What's the other thing we need to get done? African War Industries or Cottage Industries. Which is... one of you. So, 42. That's 77 days. So I literally cannot save the DKEAB. So if we fail it... No, it's going to go bankrupt. Very cool. Very cool. Happy to have that. Will that be another stability loss? My gut says yes. And I'm not happy with that, but, you know, here we are. Okay, Jackery's been elected president, so we will be having a 4-way civil war. Give me all the basic industry text for now. More than happy with that. We have 16 days until we pose British self-rule. Gives us 50% stability and as well as the political power gain, which would be nice. And what do we want to do after this? These two down here are fucking terrible. Like 120 weekly manpower is garbage. We just get 120 weekly manpower right now anyways. We can attract Belgian interest, which gives us 12 steel, 4 more civilian factories, extra research slot down there. Stability, war support, land doctrine, cottage industries. Honorary officers, more stability here. And you're a 15% stability boost on this side as well. So that's going to get us up to 30%. So yeah, I think we want to do Autonomous Kingdoms next as well. Maybe even go straight down to new elections. I mean, new elections only a 14-day focus. So, you know, might as well get that done right away. And we're also going to get a research slot out of this as well. Yes, we got Kenya now. Oh, I don't even lose any units either. Oh, that's fantastic. And Kenya gets a free 6. Nigeria gets its free... We basically spawn 15 free divisions. I am more than okay with that. Thank you. I've got my own... I'm a puppet of Britain. Or I'm a puppet of Germany. And you guys are puppets of me. Like, it's just puppets all the way down. And are you core? Seems like it. Another policeman, this time in Logogwe, has been shot by a radicalized native who's a member of the Minoki tribe. This cause of radicalization and the source of his weapons are still being investigated. However, it is possible that he has received help from Portugal. Portugal, by the way. We're not happy with you. We're going to put 10 divisions on this border. The other 10, we're going to deploy you just like right there. Seems fine. Like, I'm not worried about a war against Portugal. I don't think they have what it takes to even fight us. Okay, it's only 2.5% stability. It's not that bad. The end of the third economic quarter is come and gone, but the Duke Kaiserreich Mittelafrika has not continued with it. We mismanaged the project to save it, although the Ethiopians appear to have cooperated, and we now have no choice but to sell our shares to the Ethiopian government. Governor Theodore von Hasse's reputation has suffered accordingly. It seems increasingly unlikely to be able to make Middle Africa profitable without resorting to drastic measures. Look, okay, we're never going to have positive stability. Okay, so we're going to go with, okay, Norway joined the Internationale. The colonial office in Berlin has reprimanded Governor Theodore von Hassel for failing to keep the DKAB afloat. Although this is some respect merited, the Ethiopians must also bear some share of the blame. Nevertheless, Theodore von Hassel's political prospects have been isn't this the, we lose more stability. Oh no, national populism loses more support. Isn't that supposed to be... Does that modifier apply twice here then? I believe so. I think that event might have fired twice. Italian democracy survived. 37 budget. Going into 1937, we must face a difficult choice. Our economy, it wasn't strong in the first place, and black money annihilated what manufacturing potential we had for the better part of last year. Going forward, we are to have to choose between military production or diverting our limited resources towards repairing the civilian economy instead. We get... I mean, that's a massive... Oh, construction speed versus factory. That is a 35% difference in factory output. That's not even a question. Give me military buildup 100 goddamn percent. Like that's not even a question. Wait, I only have +8. I only got one more military factory. I mean, I'll still take it. I'll still take it. I can increase the military budget even more. How many civilian factories do we actually have? We have 8. We're getting 3 from exports. What do we actually make? We mostly make a little bit of rubber, and I'm assuming that's probably what's being bought by Hungary, Sweden, and 2 Sicilies. I mean, I would love more rubber. More rubber means that we can trade more rubber. Convergence speed? I mean, that could be nice for us. You know, give me excavation. Just again, just for a little bit more rubber. We get a little bit more rubber. We can trade a little bit more rubber. And the more rubber we trade, the more civilian factories we can gain. Oh, this just had it modified, or it didn't get changed. So we actually do have, we have 14 military factories now. Fantastic. I'm going to throw those in infantry equipment, and I'm going to throw you into artillery. Seems good enough to me. Going to get one more steel. Don't trade with the United States. We probably should be trading with Berlin. I mean, we can't build any factories right now, and we have no aluminum, and we need more steel. I mean, we can get that steel from the Belgians, and it also gives us 4 civilian factories. I mean, that's just good, right? And we even got more steel, more rubber, chromium. Belgium, you know what, guys? You guys are cool. We like the Belgians just because they're going to give me a lot of stuff. Okay, more stability now. Let's attract Belgian support here. Legal chaos minus 0.4. And that goes away in April. So this is almost done. And then we'll be happy. But I need to like not be losing stability just passively. Because the more stability we lose passively, the closer we are to this complete collapse. And I don't want to collapse. I know maybe that's a hot take, but I'd prefer my own government to be strong and not completely falter. But I do think that with that, this is going to be a good time for us to end this episode for today. So thank you for watching. My name is Anthony. If you enjoyed, put a thumbs up. Not enjoying, click thumbs down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.